Hello YouTube and welcome back to my channel. Back in 1984, NBC debuted a new sitcom called Double Trouble. It starred identical twins, Gene and Liz Sagal, as Kate and Allison Foster, twin sisters being raised by their widowed father, who was played by veteran actor Donnelly Rhodes. In this video, I take a look at the careers of Liz and Gene leading up to landing that TV role. I also discuss Double Trouble and what these two sisters have been doing in the years since Double Trouble was canceled. The girls were born into a family of entertainment industry professionals. Their father was Boris Sagal, who had been directing TV shows since the 1950s, including shows such as The Twilight Zone, Alfred Hitchcock Presents, Night Gallery, Columbo, Peter Gunn, and The Man from U.N.C.L.E. He also directed the 1971 film The Omega Man, starring Charlton Heston, and written by the great writer Richard Matheson. Additionally, their older sister is none other than Katie Sagal, who is perhaps best known for her role as Peg Bundy from the TV show Married with Children. But she has also appeared in the FX TV series Sons of Anarchy, as well as the animated Fox TV show Futurama, among many other television shows going back to the early 1970s. The sisters first appeared together in the 1982 film Grease 2, starring Michelle Pfeiffer. Now, interestingly enough, I read an interview with the twins where Jean stated that she had auditioned for the movie while in New York, and Liz had auditioned while in Los Angeles. Both were cast as backup dancers, but when the producers realized that they had cast identical twins, they wrote parts for them at the last minute. How crazy is that? 2 years later, the two would land the roles of Kate and Allison Foster in Double Trouble. Now, I can see why the show's creators thought that the show would be successful. Other shows that had featured twin sisters with different personality traits had been successful in the past. For example, look at the success of the 1961 Disney classic film The Parent Trap and the 1963 television series The Patty Duke Show. With both of those shows, however, the twins were just played by a single actress. Now, the show's first season was short, as it was a mid-season replacement for another show that had been canceled. It lasted just 8 episodes and took place in Iowa, where the twin sisters lived with their father, who owned a dance studio. Now, much of the show's comedy was built around the idea that even though they were identical twins, they really couldn't be more different. One was extremely serious, while the other tended to be more fun-loving and easygoing. Unfortunately, that first season didn't get the ratings that NBC was hoping for, and it wasn't picked up for the rest of the season. However, it would be given a second chance. It would be brought back in December of 1984 for a longer second season, where there were changes in the works. For the second season, the girls had moved to the Big Apple, where they lived with their aunt, who was played by Barbara Barry, who is perhaps best known for playing Evelyn Stoller in the 1979 coming-of-age comedy Breaking Away, which just so happens to be one of my favorite movies ever. Now, these changes helped improve the Nielsen ratings slightly, moving up from a 13.1 to a 13.8 rating, but it just wasn't a big enough lift to warrant being renewed, and thus the show was canceled after the second season. Now, what are the gals up to these days? Well, after Double Trouble was canceled, Jean took her experience working in television and transitioned her career towards directing. She has directed episodes for such TV series as Just Shoot Me, Mad TV, 2.5 Men, Two Broke Girls, Fuller House, and Last Men Standing, among others. Her sister Liz has also continued to work in television, but as a writer, producer, and editor. She has written for such shows as Mad About You, Monk, Charmed, Sons of Anarchy, and Lost in Space. So there you have it. Now here's one last picture of Gene and Liz from the time period of Grease 2. Now here's where I want to hear from you. Who remembers Double Trouble, and how many of you knew that Gene and Liz were the younger sisters of Katie Sagal? Now, I look forward to reading your comments. Also, I would greatly appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to my channel, where I talk about the movies, music, and TV shows that I loved while growing up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. As always, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe out there, and have a great day.